let's go.
It's Heartbeat.
It's a fabulous show.
Alaska.
Hi, Heartbeat Alaska.
It's Heartbeat. Alaska.
Pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeanne's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian, and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian, and the Eskimo.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Hello, welcome to Heartbeat Alaska. I'm Jeannie Green. As you can see, we still have not moved our studio. We'll be letting you know when you can come and volunteer and help us move. We'll have pizza and everything, be lots of fun. We travel to the interior to Circle, Alaska. We've never been there. There's a youth camp. It's a fabulous show. We get to go 12 miles upriver. Oh, and this time of year, I'm so glad you joined us, and you'll be glad too. I'll be back with Circle, Alaska right after this.
Hi, Dad.
Somewhere in a secluded cove along the banks of Alaska's Yukon River, there exists a place that seems like a fairy tale, a place where time stands still, where dreams are real and the problems of the world are lifetimes away. A place where children run free and adventure is present with every passing moment, where the past and the present meld together, where learning is an adventure. A magical place where wise elders tell stories of great chiefs and wide-eyed children dream of great adventures yet to come.
All of you know some great chiefs in your life, in your hometown, the leaders, the elders. Those are the kind of people I'm talking about. And Shanati was one of them. And I guess there's... when I was in Old Crow, Yukon Territory, the elders, they know all about Shanati. They told me about what he did, about the battles that he had, and stuff like that. So it was just a great inspiration.
Heartbeat Alaska is pleased to announce a brand new official hotel. We're brought to you now by Millennium Alaskan Hotel, the official hotel of Heartbeat Alaska, and
Heartbeat Alaska is also brought to you by Frontier Flying Service. Thank you, Frontier, for getting Heartbeat Alaska airborne.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Brown's Electric Lighting Gallery. Thank you, Brown's Electric, for your generous support of Heartbeat Alaska. Heartbeat Alaska is made possible by Kupik Carlisle Transportation, your full-service transportation and logistics company.
from time to time on Heartbeat Alaska, we feature shows that can be defined in one word: wellness. In today's program, we travel like 15 miles upriver from Circle, Alaska to a youth camp. Watch carefully. You may want to see what they're doing and follow their example.
I think it's important because someday we're not going to have an easy life. Someday they're going to have to go back to learning how to knowing how to fish and to living off the land, because life is not always easy. Even nowadays it's not easy. So for me, it's important for my kids and my grandkids to know how to take care of fish, how to hunt, how to live off the land as much as they can, because someday they might have to do it. We don't know what's going to happen in the future in our life. And for the kids in the village, it's important for the same reason, and sometimes they don't have a teacher in their family. Maybe their parents don't fish or don't hunt, and so they need a place to come where they can learn. They can learn all the traditional ways and the ways to preserve and to hunt and to fish so that they can live off the land if they have to. And that's the goal. The other goal, that's one goal, but we have other goals. Another goal is to help them learn to live a healthy lifestyle, not to abuse alcohol and drugs. That's a big part of our program is prevention. Giving them things, skills and ideas and knowledge so that they know how to live a healthy lifestyle.
Jeanne Boyle is the coordinator for the Circle Youth Camp. Much of what you see here would not exist were it not for her efforts and guidance.
Well, first of all, I was raised out in the rural lifestyle by my parents. My mother was from Sitka and my father was in Alaska most of his life, and they had a homestead cabin where they spent a lot of their life. And so I kind of learned the traditional way there from my parents. And then when I came up here to Circle, about 20 years ago, Fairbanks Native Association asked me to have a youth camp, make a fish camp for kids in Fairbanks that never got to go out to a fish camp. So the idea started there, and it just grew and grew. It's kind of like one of my dreams to make a camp for the kids in the Yukon Flats area, because we have a lot of kids in the flats that, even though they live in a village, a lot of times they don't get to go out in a boat or out to a camp. So what we tried to do here is make a camp where we could invite kids from other villages to come visit for a week or 10 days, and we're going to have elders here teaching the kids traditional ways starting next summer. This summer we're just working on trying to finishing up the camp to make it comfortable for elders and the youth. We really started on a really little budget. It was just an idea in our heads, and it just kept growing and growing, and we got money from AFN Youth Wellness funding last summer. We did a lot of brushing out and clearing, and they made a couple frames, and after that we planned all winter, and we tried to figure out how we're going to get enough people to work on our camp and help us finish it for this summer. And then we contacted the AmeriCorps and put in a proposal so they could come help us, because our problem is workforce. You know, we're a really small village, and most of the people that want to work or can work, they have jobs and they can't spend a month or two up here in the summer. So that's how it started. Just a dream. It was a dream that some of us here had, and now we're here. We're almost ready to do the dedication tomorrow. And the kids will have a camp forever, right here.
Throughout rural Alaska, camps like this are being developed for the young people, not just to have a place to play in the summer, but to create a setting where the culture and traditions of their elders can be passed on in a way that makes sense. Here at camp, the songs, dances, and stories resonate without the static interruption of satellite TV or the steady buzz of four-wheelers.
Well, when we were young, we had to make our own entertainment. We had no TV. We had radio, but then my father was really strange. He only listened to the news. And we didn't know what the news was anyway, so we did a lot of playing outdoors, and we learned how to snare rabbits and just go out on the river whenever the opportunity arose, and we didn't learn like these kids are going to, because our parents did all that, and we observed a lot of things. And I can still remember watching my grandma cutting fish, and I was surprised when one of these kids said, "I don't know how to cut fish." I said, "I do," because I remember from watching my grandmother.
The importance is bringing back culture into the children's lives, because it has been missing for a while. And with the new council, which is supporting the children tremendously, it has opened up their eyes a lot more, and they're more, what I've seen since I've moved back is they have become prouder of themselves, more assertive. Assertive is the word that I'd like to use. And they're proud of who they are.
Like so many of the native villages in Alaska, Circle was changed forever with the arrival of Western man. In 1893, lured by the seductive power of gold, thousands of miners, merchants, and missionaries from all points of the globe rode belching steamships up the Yukon River, each man and woman seeking the promised riches of the gold fields. Circle was a staging area for this flood of humankind, and within the course of a few months, it became the largest mining town on the river. Stores, movie theaters, dance halls, miners, and scoundrels of every race and culture swept into the area. And in their wake, the Athabascan natives of the region were left to adapt any way they could. And then, just as suddenly as they had arrived, the strangers were gone, flushed away like frightened quail with the news of other gold discoveries in faraway places. But like careless campers who failed to clean up after themselves, the region was littered with the trappings of Western man. The Athabascans, now fully influenced by the outside world, were left to recover on their own. Each week, Heartbeat Alaska brings you great stories from all over the state. And we couldn't do it without the generous support of Frontier Flying Service. Frontier gets our camera crews where they need to go. So whenever you see a Frontier plane, give them a wave.
Say hi from Nuxet.
You might just be on Heartbeat Alaska.
Frontier Flying Service, covering Alaska for over 50 years.
Even to a casual observer, the effectiveness of youth camp is apparent. But with the same observation, it's easy to realize that clearing the land, building tents and cabins, and maintaining it all takes a great deal of work. In this, the second year at Circle Youth Camp, AmeriCorps workers are providing skilled labor for the camp.
Dad's song. It's either water or dishes, so you're out of the dishes business. That's Walter. He's at AmeriCorps over here. They did a lot of work on our camp this year. They've been with us since June 2nd. They came to Circle. First they helped us renovate a building in the village there. For a youth center, because our kids never have a place to go, especially in the winter. Now, I brought them up to the youth camp to help us finish it so that the kids will have a place to go during the summer.
A lot of elders are going to be walking up here, and they'll have something to hold on instead of like get real scared, accidentally fall and hurt themselves, which they won't now.
I think it was through a joint partnership with the Nenana Native Council and Tanana Chiefs Conference. Bear Kessler was a big impetus in getting it started there. And I think the Tanana Chiefs Employment and Training Department, which is led by Donna Scott, we're looking for new ways to serve the youth of the region. And that was kind of in response to some of the initiatives coming out of the annual meeting and what the different villages were saying, this is what we need in our area. So they put it together and away it went.
Our former chief, Paul Nathaniel, picked a spot out last summer. We wanted a spot that wasn't too far away from the village, but far enough so the kids feel that they really went somewhere. So he picked a spot out. It's a good place because the high water doesn't overflow on the bank, and it'll be dry here all year round. There's lots of timber. There's a lot of brush. They did a lot of work brush cutting, but there's a nice swimming area for them. They're not in the main current of the Yukon, and so they can swim in the slough here. It's nice.
First, there's some tents. This is the little kids' tents right here. Jarek and Cody. This is their tent. It's not too big or not too little, but it's okay for them. There's my mom's tent right over there, the red one. And here's the shower where we change after swimming. Here's the you lift this up and unclip it, and it pours out water. But right now we're running out of water. Here's the clothesline where we hang up our stuff. There's my swimming trunks right there, the frog ones with the frogs on them. And this is the girls' tent. This is the girls' tent. This is their whole tent. And over there is the trail to our old swimming pool, right over there. Here's our clothesline. It's a tiny little thing. Here's the cooler. We keep all our stuff in there, like hot hamburger buns, milk's in there, and some other stuff. Especially, and we keep the hot dogs in there too. There's the other shower over there. It's the same as the girls' shower, but this is just if you want to go back here. Right now we don't have the shower in there, but we're gonna hook it up in here soon. Wow. Over here we have the fireplace. Here's the fireplace where we cook some stuff. Sometimes we make tea and stuff. And there's my friend Nick right there. There's the swimming pool where all the kids are, and we got a 4-person raft. It's a big old raft around there by those two kids. We swim in the Yukon. It's a little cold, but we around right in that creek right there, it's all warm, and that's how we warm up when we're cold. We jump in there and warm up. And now we're going into Cook Shack.
Jen McLean.
We're going, hey, come here. There we go. And here's the Cook Shack.
What's this?
Cook Shack.
moment you enter the doorway at the Millennium Hotel, another world surrounds you. It's a world of friendly faces and cordial service. It's a place of great taste and great tastes. The Millennium Hotel is a haven of relaxation and personal restoration, of attentive service and attention to details. But at the end of the day, we won't read you a bedtime story. Although, would you be surprised if we did?
Why do you think it's important for you guys to come here? We think it's heaven because the kids come up and they're free. They can do what they want. They can go swimming. They know we have rules. We have a few rules for them, but mostly they do what they want to do. They make things, they carve, they go swimming, they play games. We have some traditional games they play. They sing, they have songs, they have drumming and singing going on. But we really don't have, we try not to, we let them be free. We try not to force them to do things, but we try to introduce new things to them.
The Circle Youth Camp, it's a very special day. Elders, friends, and family from all up and down the river are here to officially dedicate the camp. It's a chance for everyone involved to step back and take a look at what they've achieved, and more importantly, what is possible in the future.
We come from Hankuchin Indians, we say. A band of Indians that survive all these years, and we will continue to survive. But the survival depends on you, the younger generation, on where you want to take Circle and where it's going to go. The dreams are yours.
But I want you to leave here with good memories and be positive in everything that you do. When we're negative, we go down. We're positive. Together, we can achieve a whole lot. And a lot of you young people have a lot going for you, and you can achieve your goals no matter what anybody says.
In Fairbanks, way back, 1948, I believe it was a Boy Scout camp. It was similar to this, where they teach some good principles. So good principles is very good to learn from the elders and your parents. So I'm sure that individually you can achieve your goals and success in life.
We welcome you all to our camp. Hope you enjoy yourselves and come back again. Thank you for coming and take the bugs with you.
Memories of the freedom and excitement at summer camp will be with these young people for the rest of their lives. And whether they realize it or not, they are coming away with skills, wisdom, and a renewed enthusiasm for their culture that they will pass on to their children and grandchildren.
Wonderful. Actually, it was great. You know, this is what it should always be like. You know, especially with the youth. You know, the youth are the most important ones in our culture anyway that we watch out for. You know, without them, that, you know, to pester us elders, you know, to keep us in line, you know. It's good to at least show our gratitude and our kindness to them, to give them something to look forward to, you know.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Heartbeat Alaska. And thank you, Jeannie and everyone else in Circle Alaska. Thank you, Perry Asogiak from Tanana Chiefs. Thank you, everyone, for making this story possible. God bless every single one of you, and join me again next week for more Heartbeat Alaska.
To purchase a VHS copy of this program, contact Jeannie Green Productions, 6216 Old Seward Highway, Anchorage, Alaska, 99518. Or contact us online at www.jeanniegreen.com.
See ya.